Channel, y'all. I'm Lady Nika. Hold on. All right. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with tonight's episode of Queen Sugar. Girl, it was good tonight. I still haven't made up my mind, and like I said, I'll let y'all know what's gonna happen with Queen Sugar as far as me doing the reviews on it. Okay, now I'm good. But I ain't made my mind up. But tonight was a pretty good episode. So here I am as promised to come through and put this review into your circulations and see how you feel about it all, okay? This was the fifth episode of the second season, Carolyn Dusk. Child, it was pretty good. We start off with Charlie. She's sitting there talking to this therapist, and she's trying to get Micah on the phone. When he finally answers, he's actually down in New Orleans with Nova at the Habitat for Humanity site working. Now, she's saying, what about today? Did you forget that, today is the day we're supposed to have our counseling session? He said, well, Mom, to be honest with you, I totally forgot, but you've been on me about getting some community activities under my belt for my college apps and stuff. So, he apologized for wasting, for not being there, but ain't nothing he could do because he in New Orleans. Well, she hangs up with him, and the therapist is the therapist is saying like, well, I guess I won't, Michael won't be joining us, and Charlie does apologize to the lady for his absence, said that he got his dates mixed up, and he's currently working on a community project right now, so he won't be able to join us or whatnot. So she thinking this going to be the end of the damn session. Now the lady said, well, I tell you what, how about we do some independent sessions? I do a lot of independent one-on-one with the parents, and I feel like that's helpful in me being able to really get to the root of whatever the issue that may be within the family. So Charlie kind of strapped up in that. So she gets to telling the woman about she don't raise Micah the way she was raised. She said that she see things a little bit differently. Although she appreciate what her parents was able to do for her, she's not no stickler like that. The lady kind of dug in and started asking her like, well, why, what is it about your childhood that would make you not want to raise Michael like this? Basically, what I got out of that is Charlie Mama is a control freak. I get that. She kind of double bougie, and she pushed Charlie extremely hard to be perfect. And Charlie, although she didn't like that, never voiced that. And although she thinks she ain't got that in her, she trying not to be that way with her own son. She believe in excelling, but she's not a stickler like her mother. She knows the difference between, good and absolute perfection. And she also understands that sometimes you just cannot reach perfection. Okay, so I guess that was a breakthrough for her in a way. We keep hearing about that mom. I'm pretty sure mom's finna pop up in one of these episodes real, real soon. Anyway, Darla comes over to Ralph Angel and Blue's house for breakfast, and he telling her that he would like, she could do this every week. She could do this every day if she would just move in with them. He about to harvest his sugar cane soon. He gonna be planting the soybean, and everything. Everything's gonna be great. He'll be able to afford to take care of her and Blue. He said he ain't gonna lie. The last 2 weeks she been out of work, he has been nervous, but he don't want her to feel like she under pressure, and he offering her a helping hand. And although she appreciated, she don't want him to take care of her. She want to feel like she can do this stuff on her own. That's a part of her sobriety as well, is being able to stand on her own 2 feet, and that's what she want to do. She appreciate what he offering, but right now she feel like she got this thing. Okay, now let's go back over to the Habitat for Humanity site where Nova's working at, and that guy, what his name, Robert Dubois, I do believe is his name. He show up. Okay, he show up at the Habitat for Humanity site, and he said he found out that she was looking for volunteers, and he thought that he would come and lend a hand. Well, she is very, happy to see him. She impressed that he came from Atlanta all the way to New Orleans, and she just smiling from ear to ear. You can see the attraction budding right there. Anyway, Darla goes to see Charlie to get her resume looked over, and she did have a lot of gaps of employment. Them were the times where she was kind of strung out and wasn't able to maintain the employment. She'd get it, but she couldn't keep it. And she also talked about her being the age she is. Most jobs would be looking for her to have some form of experience. Darla began to feel overwhelmed by that, and she feel like, once again he got my past coming back to cause me problems and things like that. So she kind of upset about that, and she leave out abruptly. Charlie see this. She tried to call her back, but old girl was gone. Okay, she wound up actually going to talk to her coach, I think, or her sponsor, whatever they call her. She's telling her that these last few weeks have been the hardest. I feel like I'm dying up in here. I mean, Ralph Angel want to help me, but as sweet as that gesture is, it makes me feel helpless, and it's very important to me that I remain. I stay. I think that job helped balance her. She felt like she was contributing to society when she was doing something useful, regardless of what the job may entail. Just getting up every day with a purpose, and that's what she felt like she needed in her life. And now she ain't got no job. She feel like she ain't got no purpose, and the lady telling her that is not the case. You have a part of the support system is doing what he's offering to do. You don't want to get in a situation where you start relapsing or whatnot. Okay. She just feeling bad. Say every time he offered her help, for it just make her feel worse, and she shouldn't be feeling that way. She know it, but she want to do it on her own. Now we go over to Aunt Vi's house. Her and Hollywood is sitting in the kitchen, and he's talking to her, and she preoccupied as hell. When he initially asked her what was wrong with her, she said she was concerned about her pies and trying to get her pies sold. He said, "No, you gonna be just fine with that. It's something deeper than that with you. What's going on?" He said, he called her out. He said, "Now you giving me notebooks and stuff to write down my emotions, but you sitting here with a ton of them sitting up on your shoulder, and you don't even want to tell me about it." So she winds up telling him about the new will that Daddy Bordelon had written, giving Ralph Angel and Blue all of the property, opposed to it being a split the way he had, the first will stated. And she said she advised Ralph Angel to keep his mouth closed right now. Ain't the time to be starting all of this here. Well, like Hollywood said, you can't really get mad about it because the girls moved away. And they had no interest in that land whatsoever. Ralph Angel, on the other hand, did, in between his jail thing. He was there helping Daddy Bordelon with the farm and stuff, okay? She's saying that because of all of this new stuff here that could pop off, it might not be the best time for her to try to start her own business. And he was like, "Hell to the no." He's like, "Look, you're not the designated peacekeeper." He said, "Right, you have earned your right to be able to do what it is that you want to do for yourself right now. They grown. They'll be all right. They'll figure that out. You continue on with your course." And I said, "That's what I'm talking about, baby. You tell her to keep it moving." And I'm glad she did. She goes to try to sell her pies to this one white woman, Jennifer. I don't remember her last name. Now, you could tell from the onset of this here scene, this woman had no interest in buying Vi's pies. Vi is telling her what type of pies she made because the woman is asking them questions. She even added in a little humor along with the stuff, only for the woman to tell her she had no intention of buying from Aunt Vi, basically. And she told her when, she not interested right now, but if she get any buyer, let her know. So in other words, what I took from that is, I don't want to take a chance on you, but if somebody else doing it becomes a success, then come back to me. That's what I got out of that. My thing is, girl, I would never step foot near that woman again because even her attitude says that she's not somebody you want to deal with. That's just my opinion. Now, um, Davis comes to the Habitat for Humanity site to pick up Michael, okay? And come to find out, him and Dubois are college friends. Well, friends from college. They used to play a little ball together. Well, they do a little small talking and whatnot. And he and Michael go to leave. And it's this singer chick. I don't remember the girl name. I didn't get it. But she's standing there and she being interviewed by this group of media personnel. And she's talking about how she may not can swing a damn hammer with her hand, but she do believe even giving back and supporting to Habitat for Humanity. Somehow the press looked over there and seen West, and they took it on over there to him, the bigger celebrity. And he basically was saying, "Look, I'm only here because my son is involved in this project," and he was saying, talking good, PR, honey, PR 101, just good shit. Meanwhile, old girl over there looking him up and down, and I ain't kind of like how she was looking at him. I really did. I hope we ain't gonna see no more of this hoe. But yeah, she was looking him up and down. Now I don't know if that was baby I want some, or nigga who is you. Either way, a little more like she was impressed if you ask me. But anyhow, uh Robert and Nova, they sitting there having a conversation. Well, now they actually go to look at some of the areas of New Orleans that was hardest hit by Hurricane Katrina, and she's telling him that they even got tour buses coming down here for people to see the devastation and how the city hasn't grown back, and this is part of why she's so devoted to her city, seeing it rebuild after Katrina, even though it's been all these years and stuff. And we take a moment to think about all the peoples that dealt with that. Okay, we're gonna move on from that. Darla goes to see Blue and Ralph Angel on the farm as they working, and end up sticking around and giving him a bath. Now, she just as happy as she could be bathing him, but she noticed he still got this liking to Kenya. And she asked him, is he happy since she been around? And he said yes. She said, okay. And I was like, girl, don't you fuck with that doll. I'm telling you, don't mess with this doll. Because I felt it in my spirit she was going to do something with that doll. Now later on, we see Nova and Robert. They sitting down talking, and he's asking about Too Sweet, and she realized this man really is into me. As far as my work, because he even know about Too Sweet, and he's asking how he doing. She said he thriving, he doing real good. She spoke with him recently. Well, he tells her that he adores her and he flat out like her. Before she can say anything, Charlie is calling her phone, so she step away just a moment, pause to go over there to answer that phone, and it's Miss Combative Charlie looking for a fight. When she in her feelings, she always looking for somebody she can go off on. She talking about, do you just disrespect me in general, or is it just personally me? Why was Michael not at his counseling session this morning? Nova had to tell her, honey, hold up. I didn't know nothing about no counseling session. All I know is he's supposed to needed some community service hours to go on his college app. But I do apologize for that. She couldn't find no argument with this girl, so she had to realize, okay, I'm on 10 for no reason. So she apologized. Now Nova's asking, is she okay? She talking about, I'm fine. I got a lot of unpacking left to do. So she hangs up with her. Now, Nova go back over there to Robert, and instead of them picking up the conversation where they was with him saying he like her, she gonna rain check him until later because she gotta go check on her sister. She just feeling her spirit. Her sister need her in this moment. So she went on over there and told him she'll talk to him on a little bit later. I said, girl, look, I love my sister, sure do, but I love me too. And child, Nova needs some real in her life. In that moment, I would have been like, my sister would be all right for at least another hour, honey. I would have finished that conversation. We'd established some things before I left, but okay, whatever. Now we see Charlie. She's over there straightening up or whatever in the house, and she hears a knock at a door. At her door, she goes to the door. It's Nova. Nova's like, "Hey, I feel like you could use some company." And the next thing we know, child, she is in there cleansing the spirits about this woman's house. She said she felt it when she walked in the door. It needed some uplifting. Now Charlie say she didn't feel nothing. Nova said, "You will, especially when I leave." Okay. So then they begin to talk about Mike and how she wants to help him, feel better. And she did a little questioning of the move. Then she switched it over to talking about when she used to like to play piano, how well she played when she was in practice. But once she got in front of an audience, she would freeze up. And she did at one particular recital. And her mom basically made her change recreations. Nova said, look, girl, look, let me tell you, your mama made you a control freak. Okay, she made you a control freak. They joke about the shit because she say Nova a control freak too. Nova said, no, I'm not one, but I'm by you. And she crazy as hell. Little joking period for them. But I think she needed to talk, and it might not be Nova the one she needed to talk to. Because if you remember last week when they were fixing up the meal, what there was a part of the meal that Charlie gonna be living in, we saw when she mentioned this gift that her mom had given her from India that Micah found, and how Nova looked and walked off. So I think it might be some underlying problems between Nova and the mama, the Charlie mama, probably cause Daddy borderline cheated on Nova mama, messing with Charlie mama. I'm just saying that could be my prediction. That's all it is. Now we see Mike and Davis go to play ball, and for every basket you get, you allowed to ask a question. Both of them. Whoever hit a basket, they can ask a question. Micah hit his first basket and asked his daddy straight up, "Are you a sex addict?" He said, "Well, just gonna start off right fresh, huh? We just gonna go right forward, huh?" He said, "No, I'm not no control." He said, "I'm not no sex addict." He said, "Something wrong with me. I don't know exactly what." I'm sorry. He said, "Just something about when I became a ball player and I was good at putting that ball in that rim, around that rim, people would do whatever I wanted, whatever they wanted me to do. But that wasn't the life for me. And now I'm trying to be a better person." So next, David scores, and he asked the question that they had been showing us on the clips from last week. "Did them cops rough you up?" Now, based on how they edited it, we thought he was going to say yeah. He said no. He said he was just scared and he felt out of control, and that was a horrible feeling for him. To which his dad told him it's not uncommon to feel fear. It's how you handle the fear. You can't let it overcome you, basically. It was a nice exchange between father and son, and it's kind of making me like Davis a little bit more. Now, he ain't shit as a husband, but he seemed to be a pretty decent father, because he was all, emotional when that boy was saying how he was feeling up in the jailhouse. And I would have too, because I would have never wanted one of my eggs to experience how degrading being in jail really can be. I ain't never had to stay around them parts. I always got bonded out. But in them few minutes, I could tell the ones had been around there a minute. They didn't look like they was too happy, and that's just what I saw. But I was glad they had that moment. Now, next thing we find out, Darling done throwed away goddamn Blue little toy. And he is tearing up the damn house looking for it. Kenya. He done got rid of damn Kenya. Ralph Angel mad as hell when she calls him over to the side and say she got rid of him. She can't tell him why, but she told him what trash can she took it to. I said, "Girl, why would you throw away little Kenya? You know this boy is going to be frantic, okay?" Mm. Anyway, child, let's go over to Aunt Vi house, because she in the bed and don't want to get up. That woman hurt her damn feelings, and she feeling down on her luck, back against the wind. She thinking maybe she didn't think this out all the way, and Hollywood got to tell her about it and tell you something. You just had one bad day. But one bad day does not equate giving up. You need to get up out this bed, and need to go do what it is I know that you are capable of doing. You're not in this thing by yourself. I support you, and more importantly, I believe in you. And they gave her the extra push that she needed to get her ass on up out that bed. Now, let's go over to Ralph Angel, who now is at this dumpster that Darla say she threw little Kenya in, and he is searching through the bags for this dog when the police roll up on him. And they had every intention of getting retarded until happened to, by the grace of God, one of the police officers was a friend of his he grew up with by the name of Antoine. So Antoine ain't take his ass to jail. They get to talking. He tells Ralph Angel, "I appreciate you growing up. You was the only person that used to look out for me and didn't let people mess with me. You made sure I was straight. You accepted me and allowed me to be me when I didn't even realize who me was. And when I did know who I was, you accepted me anyway." He gay. Because he went on to say when he seen Ralph Angel down at the prison, the parish prison, he was scared out of his mind because he just knew Ralph Angel was going to reveal that he was gay. He told him, "Man, that ain't who I am. You got a right to be whoever you want to be in this life. And I'm gonna always do right by you. When you saw me down there, I wasn't never gonna tell them people no shit about you, bruh. You got a right to live your best life, and if this is it, that's it." Say, "I don't even know what's going on with my own son. You see him in this trash can digging up for a damn dog. I don't understand everything about it, but I know one thing. I'm gonna keep him close and I'm gonna keep him loved. And I'm gonna always do right by you too, bruh. And I was so here for that because that's what we need in this world. Just because you a straight man don't mean you gotta be an evil, ugly person to a person who's a member of the LGBT community. Them people got a right to do their life, live their lives however they see fit to live their lives. I don't have, and you don't have, a heaven nor a hell to put anybody in because of what their sexual preferences is in this life. Because I'm sure we all fall short of the glory some kind of way each and every day. So I totally was here for that. It kills me how sometimes you'll see two men and they be cool as hell, but then the minute they get an inkling that that man may be not down with the what they down with, which is hoeing and stuff with these different females, you find out that he liked the same thing that he is. Now it's a problem with him. Was he not a good person before you found out that he liked the same sex? I hate when people do that to stuff people, and that's why a lot of folks be so afraid to come out and say, what they, who they are, and what they are, what they into, because you got judgmental people like, some folks is in this world. They want to tell them things about how they should be living their best life when you live in a ragged ass life. So I had an appreciation for the fact that the goodness that live inside of Ralph Angel always been there because Daddy brought along and instilled it in him to be good to people and to accept people on their own terms, not your fucking terms. So that was a great scene because Antoine had to go. He got a call. They dap up and he bounced out. Okay. And Ralph Angel returns to the house, and Blue finally done took a nap after being all upset and tearing the house up or whatnot. And Darla say she was finna get ready to go because she know Ralph Angel mad at her, but he asked her to stay. She said she thought Blue needed Kenya because of the times when she was bad. She good now. She said, if I don't know nothing else, I know I can be a good mama to him. And the other night when we was bathing and I seen him with Kenya, I felt some kind of way about that because I felt like he didn't need her anymore, but yet he still likes him, that dog. Ralph Angel had to tell her, girl, Kenya ain't never had nothing to do with you. It is what it is. All we can do is love him at this point, okay? And she had to let that shit go. Cause I mean, it may be strange. I told y'all about my story. She shook my damn child, shook me, honey, shook me. But I'm still here, and I began to understand. So I was all right with that. Now next we go over to Unbuy in Hollywood. They go into this diner, and the owner of the diner is already frustrated because he said his AC is out and he ain't in the mood for no solicitation. However, Hollywood said, well, I tell you what, how about I take a look at that AC for you and you allow this very pretty lady here to, you know, present you with her offer about what she got going on. So the man was willing to listen at that point and ended up liking the damn pie. See on by you would have missed that if that man wouldn't have had told you to get your ass up and gone on and do what you got to do. Okay? You better be glad, honey. Nova meets up with Robert again. She called him to meet up with him, and she tell him that if he wasn't able to pick up on it by the way she was acting, she was very very happy that he came to see her this weekend and to help, and that she likes him too. Get it, girl. Get it. Get some of that chocolate in your life. Now, Dollar is trying to mess with this dog. Ralph Angel done went and got a dog. And they trying to ruffle up and make her look bad. You know, a little tattered how little Kenya be looking. Um, trying to trying to make the baby happy again. She working on that dog, honey. But she get a call from Charlie. And she went to answer that, and she tells her, look, I overlooked your resume again, and I think I found a position that you would be good at. So she tells her, look, I'm offering you a job as my office assistant down here at the mill. I'll be opening in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be a lot of early morning and late nights. But I think that you would be the perfect candidate for that job. She's so happy she accepted and everything, but she done forgot. She got to turn around and deal with Ralph Angel. Baby, when she turned around and tell him that she got a job, he all smiles until she said, it's down at the mill with Charlie. That's when that smile just went. I don't know why it's like that. I guess he planned on saying something about that damn wheel. I really wish he wouldn't, because it's going to stir the pot. Now, before I go, because I don't want to leave y'all hanging with not knowing what all went down. You remember Charlie been mad at Michael about not coming to that counseling session. Well, he finally come home. They look each other eye to eye. He know his mama mad at him and disappointed that he didn't do it. So she's already painting the wall. She looks at him and she go back to painting. He picks up the opposite brush on the side and begins to paint the wall with her too. She ends up asking him about going out later on that evening. He said yes. She look at him and they have a smile, and I think it's starting to be some understanding right there for old Charlotte but along with. I think so. But that was it. That was all, y'all. Like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do, as far as these reviews are concerned. I don't know if I'm gonna continue or not. I guess I'll take into consideration. Well, I will. I ain't gonna guess about it. I'm gonna take into consideration what each and every one of y'all done told me down there in the appendix section of my latest video before this one, which is the list chat. If y'all haven't seen it, go on over there and watch that, baby, and get your life a little bit. I brought some comedy along with some real, so go watch that, and I'll let y'all know what's gonna happen with this here, because Black Ink Crew Chicago coming back too, next week. But I don't know. I'll let y'all know. Y'all will know before that day. Hopefully, I can tell y'all before then what I'm going to do about Queen Sugar. If, in fact, this is my last review, I just want to thank each and every person who has come along to my channel and who has supported this review. If none other, thank you for watching this one. And if it is my end, if this is the end of it for me, it's been a pleasure talking about this shit. Sometimes it drag and it don't always pop like we like them to pop, but it really is a pleasure talking about this, because this is centered around my hometown, and a lot of the scenery and everything gives me a feel for back home. So that's why I kind of I kind of navigate to this here show. Gravitate, that was the word. I'm sorry, gravitate to this show. But yeah, that's my thing on it. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's review for Queen Sugar. And remember, the depth of your struggle will always determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to like this video, comment down in the panic section, subscribe to my channel if you would like, and you have not already. Subscribe, honey. I'm good people. And share the video wherever it is that you share videos. And I will be back tomorrow for Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, the season finale.